Ajahn Sumedho, abade do Mosteiro Amaravati, no Reino Unido, esteve recentemente em Portugal para dar ensinamentos e orientar um retiro. Esta visita surgiu também para dar início à angariação de fundos que permitirá erigir o primeiro mosteiro do budismo Theravada em Portugal.
But I know that your background as a Buddhist started somewhere in Thailand.
Yes, I lived 11 years in Thailand, training as a Buddhist monk.
So maybe you could tell us a little bit about your tradition, some of its characteristics.
Well, it's called the Theravada Buddhist tradition. It's one of the kind of very ancient traditions. Came from India originally, and it's based on the teachings of the Buddha, the first teachings, the sermons, and the establishment of his teaching, and then it's monastic. Its emphasis is on monasticism.
Right. And did you bring that tradition to Europe in particular?
Yes, about 33 years ago I came to Europe to live in England on invitation, because at that time there was a growing interest in Buddhism, and especially in this particular tradition. So a trust, a Buddhist organization, foundation in London, invited me to come and live in the UK.
Right. So now you find yourself in a similar position, but in Portugal, because there is a growing interest in your particular tradition, Theravada Buddhism, and there's even the interest of maybe starting a monastery in Portugal.
Well, over the past few years, there's been a growing interest in Portugal, and many Portuguese people have been coming to our monastery in England, Amaravati, which is not far from London, about 30 miles from London, and practicing meditation with me, and several have become Buddhist monks.
Right.
So now there are about three Buddhist monks from Portugal, and due to that, there's also here in Lisbon a foundation set up for supporting Theravada and Buddhist monks in this country, so which is we've recently established. Because of the growing interest, since this is my third time in Portugal, I see there's interest. Many Portuguese have been coming for retreats in England, and I would like to offer more opportunities for people interested in this particular way.
And will there be a fundraising?
Well, we've established a charity and a foundation, so that we can raise funds now to eventually find a place, probably some forest or the countryside, for establishing a monastery. And of course the Buddhist monastery is not like many people imagine in European countries. It's not a cloistered order where monks live totally cut off, but we're always relating to the lay community. So it's inviting the lay community to participate, help, and learn and practice meditation. And so in England, for example, there's a tremendous interest now amongst the lay community in England, Wales, Scotland. They go to these monasteries to hear the teaching, if they're interested. We have situations giving retreats, meditation retreats.
So what would you like to find in Portugal? What would be the ideal conditions to find in Portugal?
Well, it would have to be a place that would be available, you know, not too remote or far away where lay people could come. Because our very essential needs have to be provided. We live a strict discipline, so we can't have money or property of our own. So we depend on like food and shelter and basic requisites from the generosity of the lay community. So this trust is established for the lay community to be able to help in that way and to participate in the life of the Buddhist monks, so that it's not just one way, it works both ways, so that both benefit from this relationship.
Yeah. Your visit to Portugal this time, you will be running a retreat, correct?
Yes, yes.
What are the benefits of going on retreat?
On a meditation retreat, we set it up so that it gives a special occasion for people to be quiet. They go noble silence, where they agree not to talk to each other for a week or 10 days, and then we live together, but then we practice these meditations. And during that time, we have a chance to calm our emotions, to reflect on our lives, beginning to awaken more to ourselves and really admit and recognize our own needs, our own obstructions, problems. And the people find this of great benefit to kind of deal with the problems they have with their families, with their professions, with life in general. To get some perspective instead of just running around and distracting oneself like so many people do these days.
Well, we're very privileged then to have you in Portugal teaching the Dhamma, and I really wish that the retreat goes very well for everyone, that the weather stays good, and that we'll see you in Portugal many more times. I hope so. Thank you very much for coming.